Well, today we're going to be doing an oil change on my 1999 Ford Powerstroke F250. We're just about to hit our 100,000 miles, which is pretty low for the 7.3. You know, it's a very reliable engine. A lot of people out there say you get 300,000, 500,000 pretty easily on these trucks. I personally think the big key to that is a consistent oil changes and just your general maintenance. So today, what we're going to need, I've got two 2.5 gallon jugs of Show Nutella T6. I like to use this one. It's got some pretty good additives in it, and it's a full synthetic blend. You're going to need some replacement washers for your oil drain plug. You can reuse them, but then occasionally you might end up with some leaks and end up with some oil spots underneath your truck, kind of like mine. So it's due. It's time to replace the gasket here for the oil drain. Next thing I've got here, I've got a OEM oil filter. It's the FL 1995-Alpha. I picked these up at Walmart, 20-30 bucks, not too bad. All right, and then some gloves to keep the oil off you. A good socket set. I like to use a 1/2-inch drive, just because it also then fits into some sort of oil filter removal device. I like these kind, just I can have one and use it on multiple vehicles rather than have a bunch of different of the strap type oil filter removers. Then of course you're going to need some shop rags, a funnel for refill with clean oil, and some sort of oil catch. All right, well, let's get after it. Alrighty. Our first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the oil fill cap. Help our oil drain a little bit better. The next thing I've already done is took this truck for a drive, got it warmed up. That way all the contaminants are now hopefully suspended in the oil. The oil flow a little bit smoother since it is a cold day in winter here. We're in mid-January, so helps out oil flow, and it's a lot warmer, gets it less viscous. Yeah, just get those contaminants out. That's the key. That's the whole reason why we change these oils. Keep that wear, keep contaminants out from destroying these trusted engines. All right, so this is what I like to take with me underneath the truck, so that way I don't have to come back and forth, back and forth. Take the oil filter with me, the socket, the wrenches, oil filter wrench, good shop towel, and the new O-ring. Key thing to remember, I occasionally forgotten, and those of you who've done it will know my concern here. Remove your plug so the oil can flow inside of the catch pan here. Nothing worse than having a good oil waterfall going all over yourself and the floor while you're trying to get that drain unplugged and the truck is still draining. Then I like to just use a creeper, slide underneath, save my knee and my back a little bit, and a good source of light, whether it's a flashlight, shop light, doesn't matter as long as you can see underneath there. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna figure out what size of socket we need. All right, looks like it's a 3/4 inch socket. Pull the shirt up so I don't get oil all over it. Usually just use the glove on the one hand that's gonna be touching the oil drain plug. If you're clean enough, you'd be all right. There we go. Yeah, this definitely do pretty black oil. These diesels usually get. Yeah, these old diesels, man, they got a lot of oil in them. The 15 quarts is what they usually take, so it's gonna be draining for a while. That's why we need those 2.5 gallon jugs. I mean, we won't use a full 5 gallons. I think it's about 4 gallons that we'll end up putting back in here, but buying it in bulk is a little bit cheaper. Okay, now that's pretty close to being drained. So I'll fish out my drain plug here, clean it off. Got the old gasket. We're just gonna set that one aside. inspect our drain plug. All right, everything looks good. Thread looks fine. If you got a magnetic type, check for any magnetic particles. This one doesn't have. I mean, it's just got a few. Nothing to be concerned about though. Just normal wear and tear. All right, get our new gasket. Oh, drain plug gasket. You can get these little gaskets on, you know, Amazon, AutoZone, any of the parts stores. For the 99 F250 Powerstroke, it's a M14 would be the size for a 16th inch or a half-inch DO. So that's the one you're gonna be looking for. I think it was maybe like $6-7 for a pack of 3. Snug that one up. Don't want to over tighten it, don't want to strip those threads. So just a good little you know, little Alright, cleanliness. Cleanliness is key for good maintenance. You want to wipe up all the old oil residue. That way you can find any of the leaks or any issues going on in your truck. You know where the oil's coming from. That way you're not guessing because your whole entire truck is coated with oil. That's a big reason why I'm replacing this gasket valve. Just keep this oil from coming down and spraying down the whole bottom side of this truck and keep me guessing, you know, if I have a real oil leak. So make sure we clean as we go. All right, now right next to the oil pan here, we got our oil filter. You need to remove him as well. Should just be on hand tight, but you know, occasionally times they get a little bit tighter. You know what? I'm going to need my other oil wrench. I'll be right back. I forgot my other one. I broke recently, the one that I usually use for all my vehicles, and it's the one I got too small. So I got one of the old, just classic oil band wrenches. To work on this, so just gotta make sure you get it on the right way so you can go lefty loosey. Because if you did it this way, you'd be righty tighty. As you push to the left, it would just slide and it would never capture. See, if we push this left there, it just never tightens up. So you gotta make sure you get them on the right way. As it tightens onto there, it gives it some good clamping force. All right, to get it loose, I'll just slide my oil pan over a little bit, catch any of that oil that's about to fly all over. We don't get this camera soaked in oil. A couple trains of thought, you can just do it real quick and hopefully spill a little bit, or you can open it up like this, let it drain a little. Probably gonna make a mess. Alright, there it goes. Alright, now I'm going to inspect up here where the oil filter attaches. Make sure there's no any nicks, gouges, scars. Make sure the gasket off the old filter came off. Had a brother who didn't notice the last gasket was stuck up there. Put a new filter on there. Leaked out all his oil out of his engine and seized it up. So always gotta be careful, make sure you check it. All right, with our new filter, we're going to put oil, which is already all over my hands. We're just gonna put a good little coating all the way around on this gasket. Make sure you get it. It might maybe a little bit more out of the pan here. There we go. You'll make sure this gets good and coated. What that does, it helps the gasket from binding up when you put it on and tearing it. Secondly, it'll help it to come off a lot easier next time you do your next oil change. All right, a lot of people also like to write the date they did the oil change on these filters. That way there's no question when they do. But I bought one of those little window stickers like you get from the service station, you know, tell you the mileage you changed it and when it's next due, the date. I do that to help keep track of it rather than putting it on the filter myself. But anyways, these just go back on. That's good and hand tight. You don't want to use a wrench to tighten these, over tighten it. There's no need for it. Hand tight works. Right, again, cleanliness. Make sure you clean up after yourself. Right, even down here around the axle, clean up your messes, your splashes. The other thing I forgot to mention that I like to do while I'm under here is I grabbed my a grease gun. I like to grease up anything that needs to be serviced and greased while we're under here. Most of the stuff is up on the front end, but you know, take a look around. A lot of times some of the drive shafts will have a little grease fitting on them. You know, grease up any drive shafts if they need them. Any sort of steering components, knuckles. Just take a look around your truck, see if there's anything that needs it. All right, well, while you're underneath your vehicle, you know, we don't get underneath them all the time. Might as well look for any other issues and stuff you might have. As I was sliding out underneath my truck here after draining that oil, over here found a little bit of a, you know, sheen, oil shining on here, right underneath the transmission. And I know I cleaned this before. The last time I changed it, I changed the transmission fluid on this, oh, not that long ago. But so I know I cleaned it. As you can see, we got a lot of gunk and build up in here. If you look at here, see a little bit of transmission fluid, which tells me I probably didn't get this one tightened up all the way. So grab my tool here, we'll take a look. Is this the right one? Oh yeah, as you see right there, it's finger tight. So since I'm here, it's finger tight, I'm just gonna loosen it. We're gonna check the level, make sure I haven't lost too much, you know. Simple preventative maintenance like this will save you thousands of dollars, and like potentially burn up a transmission here doing this. So take a peek here. Yeah, we're just maybe a hair low. We'll call it good. It's pretty close right there, just below the cap. However, we will make sure we get this tight this time. And then we're going to obviously practice cleanliness. We're going to clean this all up, so that way we can continue monitoring and make sure we don't have any more leaks, any other issues. All right, make sure the drain is tight as well. All right, it is snug. All right, grab one of our towels. Clean it up. All right, now we're ready to put some oil in. All I like to do is make sure my my funnel has been nice and clean. I'm not putting any dirt contaminants back into this engine. You always want to, like I say, cleanliness, man. We gotta keep everything clean. Keep us from a lot of problems. Alright, probably need a much bigger funnel for this size of a can, but we'll do our best. We might spill a little bit. Yep, there we go. We have to clean that up. Well, this isn't draining very fast. Sometimes you gotta lift this funnel up a little bit, break that airlock. Alright, as I showed you guys, if you just do some looking around, you can find other things wrong with your vehicle. It's not all every day you get underneath your truck or underneath the hood. So just take the time, take a look around, see if there's any issues. I didn't go show you kind of how I do my looks, but if that's something you guys are interested in, just let me know. Or you can do a more in-depth video on that. This is just more focused on changing the oil, but after we get done here, putting the oil in, we're going to check our level. And then I'll take a look around underneath here in the engine bay, check my batteries, see if my battery terminal is going to be cleaned, and check my antifreeze level, and check the transmission level again. Just overall general cleanliness, maintenance, condition, everything will save you lots of money in the long run. All right, now we got all of our oil in. Let's just check the dipstick, make sure we got it all full. All right, we got it right there in between the operating range. Perfect. Put our cap back on before I forget and walk away with it. And clean up our mess. Right, so with these 7.3 trucks, the fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump is running off of oil inside of here. A lot of people like to drain the oil out of these when they do their oil changes. That's just a lot of work. I just don't think it's necessary. Like we said, it's about 14-15 quarts of oil in this engine. What's another maybe, I don't know, 2-3 cups of oil gonna do? I mean, it's gonna be diluted out. But if you're on the train of cleaning it and you got good reason behind it, do it, man. It's just not worth it for me. All right, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start the truck, make sure we get all the oil flowing. We'll double check our level because I did not fill that oil filter. A lot of people like to fill those oil filters. I see there's good reason for either one. I generally do fill that oil filter up. The reason I didn't today is just make it easier for filming, don't make a mess, spit all over this camera lens. But either way, there's a good argument for either one. So whatever boat you're on, stick to it. But yeah, we'll get started and we'll check the oil level here in a minute. All right, we're just gonna watch that oil light. Make sure it goes out here within a few seconds, nothing too crazy. There's our oil pressure coming up. There's the light going out. Perfect. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to add us a few quarts again. I've got a smaller can that I need to use up, so we're gonna use that rather than a big old huge gallon, 2.5 gallon that I like to spill all over the place. Alright, oil level's looking pretty good. You just want to make sure you don't fill it, because that's just bad for engines. Not enough oil. The rods and will be slapping the oil, making it turn into foam, cavitating, and run your bearings dry. So not enough oil is just as bad as too much oil. But here we are within operating range, looking good. All right, next thing I do is I just keep the old oil containers. I keep all the few spares on hand, and I dump the old oil into here. You can return it to places like Walmart, Tractor Supply, AutoZone. A bunch of places will take your old oil, as well as the old oil filter as well. Give me just a second. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna clean up any spilled oil off of the floor. That way we know that any of the oil on the ground shouldn't be there, and that our engine has some sort of a leak that needs to be checked out. So alright, our last step is going to be putting on when our next service is due, the date we changed it. Do it all again the next time. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something new. Let me know if you got any good tips that I missed.